Float! This is Quinn's coming out now with Gale. He's aimed at the racing post chase, and then we'll decide on his future after that. But he's in very good form. He's been winning this season. He's a lovely novice chaser who jumps very well and has got a certain amount of ability. Here comes Minora, our champion hurdle hope, with his regular work rider Tim Dennis riding him. So he's going to have a piece of work this morning, and all is going well since we last saw you. He's hardly camera shy, is he? Boy. So at this stage, we've got 5 weeks to go. Very, very happy with his progress. As I say, he's going to have a fast piece of work now, and he's not a horse that needs a lot of work. He's a very slight, athletic horse who does plenty on a daily basis anyway. So, but at this stage, very good indeed. Here comes Claire with Dream Alliance. Dream Alliance may now go to Cheltenham for the cross-country race. You saw him hunting last week. He's actually going to go hunting again tomorrow, and just for sort of something a bit different, we thought, well, Claire actually came up with the idea of the cross-country race at Cheltenham, so it might just be something that might just entertain him and amuse him and hopefully change his outlook on racing for a bit. Snap Tie and Matt Hampton. Snap Tie was a top-class horse 2 years ago. He's actually had, he's just come back from a leg injury, but he's come back again, has a couple of pieces of work and is in really good form, so couldn't be happy with him at the moment. So we're getting to the stage of the season now where a lot of these horses have had their last run before Cheltenham or are about to have their last run before Cheltenham, and then we can start making decisions as to what races they will be running in, and depending on ground and all the other variables that go into it. So they're nearly all gathered together now, so we'll send them on in a minute, and then we'll see them at the top of the gallop in a minute. So this morning these horses, or the majority of these horses, are having a fast piece of work. So we've got Quinn's and Comedy out there, and they're just having one canter up the poly track as sort of a warm-up canter, and then they'll come twice up the wood chip, fast behind me. We have our own sort of sandhill handicapping system whereby each horse has a mark between 1 and 10. So depending on how fast they are at home, and that bears no relevance to their ability on the racecourse. So we work all the 3s together, the 5s together and the 10s together, which works very well because then horses are working competitively against each other without being disappointed. The workers have all had a canter up the poly track. Those that are just cantering, circling around at the top, working for the workers to canter, and now they'll all get into their order that I've organised them to be in, depending on essentially how fast they are at home, and then they'll come up in the order that I've organised for all the staff to come up. So they're just getting themselves sorted out at the top into the right order, and then they'll come down past us and then work twice up the wood chip, and hopefully be in their pairs, all hard on the bridle, and everyone will be happy. Never quite happens like that, but we can always hope. Dream Alliance on the far side. Farallon going a little bit better, but Dream Alliance going okay. And then we've got Minora on the inside, Persian Snow on the outside. Both look to be working nicely together, which is good. Persian Snow got a bit warm. If a horse works badly, there's usually a good reason for it. Although there's one or two that probably don't give you 100%, so you've got to take that into account and treat each horse individually and on their merit. It's more important to find out if a horse isn't 100% at home, rather than going through the rigmarole and expense of the owners of travelling into the races, booking jockeys and everything else, and the horse running disappointing at the races. We'd rather they were disappointing here in their homework, so we could get on and treat them and sort them out rather than having to go through the stress of going to the races, and as I say, the owner's expense, which is obviously considerable. We have Liberate on the near side, Tara Blaze on the outside, and again they're both going pretty similarly. Tara Blaze possibly slightly better. At the moment he's the fastest horse we've got in the yard, so he has to work on his own because I've got nothing that can stay with him. He does plenty on his own, so it's not as if he needs something upsize to encourage him. So which is just as well because I've got nothing that can lay up with him. The majority can't or all work upsides, but if they are a little bit keener, you know, we exercise in single file just so they don't do too much and get too racy and keen. So what we do now, we go to the top and then we have a word with all the work riders, and obviously we see a certain amount just from our feet, and hopefully you see how the horses have worked. But equally, you know, speaking to the work riders is very important, and they give us very valuable feedback as to how the horse has gone and how the horse has gone with previous pieces of work, because a horse might go disappointingly, but if a horse regularly goes disappointingly for whatever reason, then it's probably not too much to worry about. But if a horse normally flies up there and doesn't for any reason, obviously that's cause for concern.
So you think you're going right, yeah? I'm not going past,
not particularly, no.
Yeah.
No. No. Is he keen on it or not? Right, okay. We've got Snap Tie in front there who's worked very well today. Matt was very happy with him. Tim on Minora, he was very happy with him, which is obviously very good news. And we've lost Hannah on Persian Snow, but he's worked very well as well. They work well as a pair. Fairlong's gone particularly well, and Dream Alliance hasn't gone as well as him. And that wouldn't be a biggest surprise. Dream Alliance, you know, he's probably kept a little bit for himself, but you'd never think from the two horses. You know, Dream Alliance wants 4.5 miles, Fairlong wants 3 miles, but they work together at home. Yeah, very much so. No, he's come out of the race fine. He's a horse that doesn't need a lot of work. He gets a little bit edgy, which he's a little bit on his toes, having run at Cheltenham, but a couple of days quiet cantering and he'll soon be back to his usual quiet self. So we'll just go on quietly with him for a couple of days. Again, he's a horse that doesn't need a lot of work, so we'll, you know, a couple of pieces of work before the festival and he should be spot on. This stage is very straightforward, so far so good. Hopefully he'll look after me. We won't see a helmet cam buried in the poly track.